In this video, I'm going to talk about one of the tools within XRM Toolbox called as Mockaroo Data Munger. Mockaroo Data Munger is a tool built by Link 365. Now, it's a tool to basically create data in dataverse environment using Mockaroo API. Now, when I say create data means, say take for example, if you have a table, if you have created some table within your organization, uh, and if you want to populate data in that particular table, then one way to add the data in your table is by just manually adding those record one by one. But what if you want, say, maybe 500 records? That is one is the count of the record, and second is the types. So take for example, you have created a column, and if you want to have a all the different brand name of the car or car make, or you want to list down the countries, random countries. Okay, so how do you get all those things populated? Now this particular tool makes use of a third party site called as Mockaroo. So Mockaroo generates an API. It has an API, so if you call that API, it will allow you to take the parameter and then generate the data accordingly. Now what you can do, you can populate the table data with mock data. So if you want to sorry, if you want to populate the table data with mock data, then this is the right tool. It creates dummy records in a table with mock data. It gives you an ability to define the mapping, so you can actually define the map file, and once the map file is all set, then you can actually import uh, random data in your application. Now it allows you to configure the bypass plugin execution on creation, because this is more of a create activity on the table. So if there are any custom code which has been written on creation of that record, you can even configure to bypass that. So there is an ability to generate records without mandatory fields as well. So in some of the forms, if you see, like if you have created a table and if you request for like couple of fields to be mandatory, you can even skip that option. It has a feature to export the maps or sets. Now how does the tool looks like? This is how it looks like. As you see over here, I've loaded one of the table, and the table has various attributes and the data type, and we can configure what kind of data we want for our table. Once the data set is generated or a map is created, then you can define how many records you want to generate. Now in the free version, you can generate 1,000 record at max. So if you want more than that, you may need to uh, take the paid approach from the Mockaroo API, and then you will be able to do that as well. As I mentioned to you, it's a create activity. So you can bypass the plugin execution on create. You can exclude the deprecated tables or columns, sequence numbers. So there are like a whole bunch of configuration which you can play around with. Now, before we even go into this tool, let me explain to you what that Mockaroo tool is. So if you navigate to mockaroo.com, now this is my account. Once you register to mockaroo.com, then you will be landing in the screen. Now here, if you go to my account, then here you will find an API key. This API key is important. You need to take, you just copy this API key, and this we are going to use it in the XRM toolbox. Now in Mockaroo, if you see, the first screen will show you ID, first name, last name, email, gender. So take for example, say I want to generate ID, first name, last name, and I don't want email, gender. Maybe I want another field called as maybe the data type as say um, airport country code. Okay, so I can have that, and I'll just say airport underscore code, and I'll add another field which is of data type. Maybe I'll just let me pick some random data type. So there's a whole bunch of data type over here. So if I want to pick up job title, okay, so I can just write job underscore title. So this is the mock table I'm preparing. Okay, so it has an ID, first name, last name, airport code, and job title. Okay, some random, and I'll say I want to generate maybe 400 records. I want to format CSV, Unicode, line feet, include header. That's it. If you give this information, you can either generate this data or you can preview this information. So let's preview this information. So I'm previewing this information, and now as you see over here, this is all random name. first name, last name, airport code, and then the job title. Okay, so like this you can create mock data using mockaroo.com. Okay, and this thing you can view it in your application. So if I click on generate data, then it will start, it will give you a CSV file. So if I open the CSV file, this is again a table. Here you will have all the 400 records randomly created. So random first name, last name, country code, and the position. So just to give you information on how Mockaroo works. Okay, so you can generate any information. If you want to see the raw information, here you will see how it is placed in the CSV format. So let us do one thing. Let us first copy the API key. Okay, so this is free. You can generate that API key. And in XRM Toolbox, here, if Mockaroo is not installed, please install it. Once it is installed, here you'll say Mockaroo Data Munger. Now here in Mockaroo Data Munger, in this API section, this is an API key. Just paste the key, okay, which I have already done. This is how the first screen will look like. Now here you need to load the table within your environment. So I've connected to one of my environment, and here it will list on all the tables within your system. Now I've created one custom table called as world. So here I'll open that world table. Now the world table, let me show you what does that world table contain. So take for example, world table basically contains a list of countries, capitals, rating, and other information. So let me first delete all the records. So if I let me keep just couple of records and just remove all other records from this world table. Okay, so it will just have Australia, Canada, and that's it. So just two records. If I refresh in the app, it will only show me two records. Now, what if I want to populate this table? Okay. Now, how to populate this table is, one is you go into the tool, and here we may need to again refresh this tool. So let me go back to the world record, world table, and then here I'll see the data type. So account, capital, contact, countries, denomination, and whole bunch of information. Now let me pick up say countries. Okay, so if I want to put the country name over here, then I need to select what kind of data type I want. So I'll say country. I want country over there. Now there are options. You can select the options, but here you can specify how much percentage you want blank, like 5%, 10%, 40%. I can put that. I don't want anything blank, so maybe let's put 0. Then I can select contact. So I want random contact to be selected, right? So its contact is a lookup type. So if you select on mocks, it's a fixed lookup or from set or random lookup. It's a random lookup. And what kind of selection you want. So here you can set up selection style, and here you can select say Adele, Alex, Jim, Maria, Nancy. Okay, so out of this I want the contact to be selected, random lookup. From capital, I will say maybe I don't have a specific capital or city. Maybe I'll just pick up city, any city in the world. Okay, and here it will allow you to pick that. Account. So account is again, I'll just say it will come from say fixed lookup. Now, what is that fixed lookup? Here you need to specify that it is coming from Amazon or Air France or any fixed lookup from here. Okay, so here it will pick from those fixed lookup. I'll say okay. Values lit variancy. That's a sample which I'm going to use for all the record. So that's done. Denomination is again a string type. So here I'll just pick up something different. I'll pick up maybe is there a say maybe credit card number. Okay, I'll just put credit card number in denomination. Okay, so this is a map. This is the map which I'm preparing. Now I haven't imported any data, so here I can select the earlier saved map, but I'm going to save this as now. I'm just call this name as April 2024 map world. Okay, some name. Now, once you have done with this, what you can do, you can run the data set, you can play the set, or you can create the data set. Here, you need to specify how many records you want. So I'll say maybe just generate 15 records. Okay. And you can even export the map, you can even import, you can export the sets as well. But I'm not going to do anything fancy. I said 15 records, these are the things which I have mapped. Just click on get Mockaroo data. Once I do that, it will start getting those information. So it will show you the preview before you even create a record. You said batch size is 15. I can make it uh, say maybe 18 as well. Okay, I can make it 15, I can make it 18, whatever value I want I can make it, but I'll just say 15 is good enough for now. Here are the list of countries which it has randomly generated, and then the capital record, which is like the city of the world. Contact picked up from the specific list which we have selected. Account will all be same because we have told that we need just a fixed list. Denomination, here it is generating a currency, it's generating a credit card number. Okay, so everything good, I'm okay with it. Let's go into our table and just refresh and see what we have over here. We just have only two records. Go into this system, click on create 15 records. It say all data was created successfully, check your environment to ensure data quality. Once it is done, go to your table or backend app, just click on refresh. You will see whole bunch of information over here. So you will see countries, capital, uh, account, contact, denomination, and whole bunch of things. So here, if you'll see, account has been populated with a fixed value. Denomination holds credit card information. So this is all credit card information as you see over here, and it has randomly created countries and capital. So that's how you basically define the map and then generate the data. Now if you see the data type over here, it's huge. If you want something which just to play around with for testing purposes, you can navigate to the Mockaroo website, and then from there you can see various data sets. um, you can see what kind of fields you want. So here there are 175 data types. So if you want to have a random address or airport code or fake app name or app bundle id or avatar or base 64 image url, bitcoin address, character sequence or random color, currency code, date, time, department, exponential distribution, geometric distribution, IBAN number, book identification number, money, paragraph, plant, postal code, hex code, SHA-2256, stock name, time zone, Bitcoin number, template, top level domain, URL. So everything can be generated over here. Most of them, I have to say, you will find it over here. So instead of randomly putting some information, it's best to use such kind of application so that you can generate some fake data just for testing purposes. So that's it, folks. This is all about Mockaroo Data Munger in XRM Toolbox. Thanks for watching.